Hi everyone, this is our API website. It's called F1 Somethings. The name's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to learn some things about F1, you came to the right place. On the homepage here, we have some general information about the website, about F1, and about some terminology and stuff. So just to make it easier for you guys when I'm explaining the different features, season obviously refers to the series of races from that year. So I'll say like the 2024 season, 1950 seasons, and so on. Last name is the driver's last name, the racer's last name. Constructor, this one confuses a lot of people. Constructor is the team. So each team in F1, like Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, and so on, each of them have two drivers that drive on the grid in the same race at the same time, and that's the team. The constructor is the team. So whenever I say constructor, think of team, and race round is the specific race. So every year, every season, there'll be like a number of races. I think this year there's 24. So race round one would be the first race, and race round 24 would be the 24th race. Then up here we have this taskbar with the different features you can access. So we'll start here, search by season. You put in any year from 1950 to this year, and you'll get information on that season. So we'll start from 1950, and this tells you all the races that happened that year. Then if we go back to search by season, I can put in 2024. Oh, there we go, 2024, and that gives you the race list for this year. Now moving on, we have driver standings. Put in the year, and you get the list of drivers and where they landed in the championship for that year. So same deal, I can do any year. I'll do 2002, submit that. It's loading. And Michael Schumacher, Ferrari legend, won with 144 points. And you can see the rest of the list here. Perfect. The cool thing about this is it also updates regularly for this year. There's only been a few races. I think the fourth race is coming up this weekend. So Max Verstappen's in first place with 51 points. If I show you 2023, you'll see Max Verstappen also was in the lead, but he had a lot more points. See, so he's ended off the season with 575 points. Okay, moving on to search by driver and constructor. I can put in any driver and any constructor, as in the team that they drove with, and I'll get information on them. So if I choose one of my favorite drivers, Sebastian Vettel, I'll just put in his last name because that's what the website wants, and I put in the name of the constructor he drove with. He drove with Red Bull for many years, so I will choose that. If I submit that, it gives me the years he drove with Red Bull, the number of seasons, which is 6, so these 6 seasons, and it also gives me a URL to the Wikipedia that tells me what happened that year. So if I go to 2010, I click there, it tells me Sebastian Vettel won the first of his 4 consecutive championships. So he actually won 2010, 11, 12, and 13. Go on to search by driver. I can put in any driver ID, which is usually the last name lowercase. Up here we have a little bit of formatting here. So when it's someone whose parent also drove an F1, like for example Max Verstappen, his dad Jos Verstappen also drove an F1. So if I put in just Verstappen, like it's listed here, I will get the information for his dad, Jos. But if I go back and I put in Max underscore Verstappen, I will get information on Max Verstappen. There we go. So first name, last name, date of birth, and nationality, as well as their permanent number. There's search by constructor. Just put in the name of any constructor, lowercase, and I will get information on it. So I have McLaren already. I can put that in. I get the name, McLaren, I get the nationality. Then search by constructor standings. It's basically which team won which year, because there's a drivers' championship and a constructors' championship. And at the end of the weekend, there's 2 drivers for each team. So let's say I have Max Verstappen and I have Sergio Perez. So they both get 1 and 2. That's the maximum points for my team. So my team gets the maximum points, which is Red Bull. So if I choose 2024, that'll show the current standings. Red Bull in first place with 97 points, Ferrari right on their tail with 93 points. So this is the team's points, and then over here, I think we looked at it earlier. Drivers standings is the individual drivers' points. So 2024. So we have Max Verstappen, who drives for Red Bull, and Sergio Perez, who also drives for Red Bull. Okay, and then finally we have search by race round. Basically, if you want to find out the results of a certain race from a certain year, you find it out this way. So just to make it easy, I'll do the race that just happened last weekend. Well, weekend before last. And that was 2024 round 3, which should be Australia. Yep, the Australian Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc won the race, 1-2. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our presentation, and I hope you get to try out our website. Bye.